Dawn in Kathmandu, Nepal. The country in the midst of a severe crime epidemic. Many of these shop owners belong to a community of Indian origin known as Marwaris. They're commonly perceived as dominating business in the capital. And in the last few years, they have become favored targets for kidnapping and extortion.
त्यो दिन दिल्लीबाट आएको ओभरटेक गरिसकेपछि त्यहाँ ड्राइभरलाई कुटाकुट गरे मलाई रिभल्भर देखाएर मेरो गाडीमा 4 जना बसे लगेपछि मेरो आँखामा ब्ल्याक त्यो पट्टी लगायो उनीहरूले कहाँ लग्यो I don't know.
Initially, the kidnappers demanded 20 million rupees. Eventually, his wife negotiated the fee down. After being held for 4 days, this Marawi businessman was released in exchange for 1 million rupees, about $13,000.
कतिजना मारवाडीहरु पलायन भइसक्यो यो कारणले यो किडन्यापिङ केसले गर्दा हैन कमजोर छ बिल्कुल कमजोर छ एकदम वीक छ र डे टु डे त्यो कमजोर हुँदै गछ यसको रिजन यो पनि हुन सक्छ पोलिटिकल स्थिरता नभएको
Nepal's civil war lasted over a decade and claimed more than 13,000 lives. In 2006, the government and rebel Maoists signed a peace accord. The agreement paved the way for the restoration of democracy and the eventual abolition of the monarchy, ushering, people hoped, a new era of peace and stability.
Before this peace accord, even though Nepal at the time it was in a stage of war, but this I would say this sense of safety, that sense of insecurity, was significantly less even at that period of time.
People expected to be safer. People expected that it will be peaceful, more peaceful than before, but didn't happen.
Since the end of the conflict, crime has escalated dramatically, notably in the form of abductions. One human rights organization estimates that in the last 3 years, over 2,100 people have been abducted by new armed groups in the south and criminal groups in the capital.
There are a number of reasons why this kidnapping, extortions has become so common in Nepal, and why for this, even for the organized criminal groups, Nepal has become heaven. The line is blurred between this crime and politics. So the criminalization of politics, I would say, and the politicization of the crime has become a common phenomenon now in Nepal.
The security crisis is linked to the turmoil of the political realm. In 2008, the Maoists won a majority of seats in the Constituent Assembly, a body responsible for the drafting of a new constitution. The Maoists formed a unity government together with the other large parties, UML and Nepali Congress. But in May 2009, Maoist Prime Minister Pushpa Dahal resigned when his efforts to sack the army chief were blocked by the president. The Maoists walked out from government and have been protesting ever since, on the streets and in parliament. The deadline for drafting a new constitution is May 2010, but as the Maoists protest and block every government move, little headway has been achieved.
सदनमा पनि राष्ट्रपतिको असंवैधानिकरण बारेमा छलफल होस् यति हो हामीले मागेको अरु केही पनि चाहिएन छलफल होस् रेकर्ड होस् कम से कम.
Barsha Mampoon is a senior Maoist leader. He believes crime has surged because the political parties which remain in government protect the criminals.
त्यसैगरी चाहिँ एकदम भ्रष्टाचार बढेको छ. यी कारणहरूले गर्दा चाहिँ स्टेट वीक छ. विश्वास पैदा गर्ने वातावरण नबनाउँदासम्म अपराधी ग्रुपले सशस्त्र ग्रुपहरूले अब सबै चीज चलाउने जस्तो.
Kidnapping gangs rarely abduct the rich and influential. Instead, they focus on the middle and upper middle classes who lack political connections. And businessmen are not their own.